Hi flower friends, it's Nicole from Flower Hill Farm, and this is week 4 of my CSA, which is basically a bouquet club where my members get a flower bouquet once a week for 5 weeks. So we are in week 4, and this is called the First Blooms Bouquet Club because that's what it's all about. It's the daffodils, it's the tulips, and if we're lucky, it's the ranunculus and all the other bips and bops that kind of come on in the very late spring. So I wanted to go over the ingredients that I'm going to be using today, and we have some new things, and I also wanted to talk about some maybe let's call them lessons learned, because I had a major snafu this weekend with some of my flowers, and it's a huge disappointment for some of my members. This is my first year using a cooler and keeping flowers in storage, and obviously there are some learning curves that go along with that. So I'll tell you about one of my mistakes that I made over the weekend. So anyway, the ingredients for week 4's bouquets, they include, this is Charming Beauty. Let me look that up. Let me Google that. Just kidding. This one's called Mango Charm. It's a beautiful pinky peach with a beautiful yellow striping on it. This green and pink one is absolutely gorgeous. It's called Greenland. And then that in here is Queen of the Night. Queen of the Night is a fan favorite. It's this beautiful dark purple, almost black tulip that I've grown now for years here, and people wait for it. They ask for it. And in the front, we have more of the Uncle Tom double tulips. Over here, more of both the Greenland, Queen of the Night, and also these. This is the Renown Unique tulip, a beautiful, beautiful double. And then I have another bucket of Queen of the Night over here, so it'll be mostly Queen of the Night with little bips and bops put inside. And then we have some stock. So the very first of my stock is in. Here's a photo that I took of the apricot stock. And if you guys remember, I've done several videos this winter of selecting for double stock, because stock can be a single or a double, and here's the photo evidence of what I'm talking about. This is from my patch that I harvested over the past few days. You can clearly see the difference between singles and doubles, and the fragrance is delicious on both. It's obviously more powerful in the double stock because the double stock just has more petals that smell good, so it's going to be stronger. But also, I had kind of a split crowd when it came to whether or not it was worth it for selecting for doubles, or if we just grow them both and just use them both. Because as someone so eloquently put it on my Facebook page, they said the double stock is more like a wow, look at me focal flower, and the single stock is kind of part of the crowd. They both add beauty and they're both worthwhile of growing. So I kind of agree with that. So I do not know if I'm going to select for singles next year. I might just grow everything and use it as it comes. So I really love it. And I am getting, if you see here, this is the white stock. I am getting some nice stem length on this. And I'm growing this inside the hoop house. And the secret to stock, I think, is it likes the cool. So the sooner you start it and the sooner you can get it in the ground, the better. So I'm also harvesting the first of my ranunculus. I haven't really given you guys a hoop house update. I will go inside there with you over the next week or so, and I want to show you guys what's going on. But for the most part, this is what's going on. We've got poppies, we've got anemones, we've got ranunculus. Some are tall, some are short, but man, these poppies are really putting on height. Everyone talks about the vase life of poppies not being fantastic, but I say if I put it into a bouquet with things that are gonna last longer and just explain to the customers, these won't last as long as the other flowers in your bouquet, but I wanted you to enjoy them anyway. That's kind of my thought process behind it, but there are some secrets that some people share. I know that Florat talks about maybe searing the bottom of the flower, harvesting them earlier. Like for instance, I harvested this right here. Let me get a close-up of it. So this is just cracked, and this is when I'm harvesting the poppies, if I can get them in time. Sometimes I go in there and they're already popped open, but I know they had just popped open overnight because I'm in there morning, noon, and night. So I know that I'm not leaving anything out there like this. But yeah, so these are just cracking, and I'm gonna put this in the bouquet like this, and it'll like boop, pop open. Oh, I took this little video. They're like pods. They're kind of still attached on. I'm getting some great stem length on these as well. And then I have some of the ranunculus, so I'll throw some pictures on there. I started harvesting some of the salmon, the teculoti salmon, some of the whites. Oh my gosh, look at this chocolate one. This one's already gone. I gave it to my neighbor. I couldn't get over how beautiful it was, so I brought it over to her house the other night just because I couldn't stop staring at it. I said, please take this. I can't stop staring at it. So she's now staring at it at her house. Anyway, I'm getting a lot of the ranunculuses starting to come in, and I'm very excited. I cannot wait because I think next week I'll have enough for like entire ranunculus bouquets for my CSA members. So fingers crossed for that. So, all right. Oh, I forgot. There's also some black parrot tulips in here. I didn't plant as many of those as I wanted to this year, but the black parrot are definitely beautiful. So I want to quickly talk about something I learned, like a hard, rough lesson that I learned over the past several days. I guess I didn't realize it until yesterday. So I had been using my cooler that I built. I showed you guys how I built that, and I haven't had any issues. And then I also have this big silver refrigerator that I've also been using. So this refrigerator, we found it does dip down to like 27 degrees, but then quickly comes back up. And so I tested that, and I found that it wasn't damaging the tulips, that it wasn't staying at 27 degrees long enough to damage any of the tulips, especially when they were completely closed and just color cracking like this. So I didn't have any damage on any of the tulips for the first, 3 weeks now that I've been using this refrigerator for storage. So the other day, I would say last Thursday, as I was putting together everything that I was going to be using in my Saturday CSA bouquets, I grabbed 2 buckets of the Sir Winston Churchill daffodils that I had and the yellow cheerfulness daffodils that I had left over, and they were partially opened. And I put those 2 buckets in this refrigerator thinking, I'm just going to keep them there overnight. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to keep them nice and fresh, and I'll pull the buckets out tomorrow when I start to make my bouquets. So it was not evident to me right away, but being in that refrigerator with exposed petals did some cold damage to those flowers. I was not aware of that when I was making the flowers, because when I pulled it out of the fridge and I was arranging, there was no evidence of any damage. However, yesterday, I received a message from one of my CSA members saying, Nicole, what am I doing wrong? I am doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and some of the flowers are starting to look pretty bad. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I was, doing farm work, I was planting, so I wasn't looking at any of my flowers right away. So I said, let me go check in my garage because I have some leftover flowers, and let me see what those look like. And I came in here, and I also noticed that those daffodils, the ones that I had kept in this refrigerator, had started to brown around the edges. And that to me was a clear sign of cold or freeze damage on the flowers. And it's not evident right away. It might be on a darker petal that there's frost damage. Like I can tell on a darker petal when there's going to be some frost damage. But because these petals were white, I didn't see any of that telltale sign of cold damage. So my CSA members who received their bouquets on Saturday had some flowers that were looking a little bit brown around the edges by Monday. That's awful. That's embarrassing. I hate that. So I immediately text messaged all of my members and said, I've become aware of an issue where some of the flowers had some cold damage, and I just want to let you guys know, if you start to see some of your flowers become wilty and brown, that's what's happening. It's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. And I extended my CSA another week. So they're all going to be getting an additional week of my bouquets because I don't want that to ever happen again. And I don't want them to have a bad taste in their mouth when they think about my flowers. And I'm just sharing this experience with you because that's how I kind of reacted to that, was like, oh no, that's not okay. Free of charge, you're not being charged for that bouquet, and I will give you a fresh bouquet in weeks to come. And hopefully that's when the ranunculus and maybe even the peonies will be available for those CSA members. So this refrigerator is unplugged. It's out of commission. I'm not using it again. Lesson learned, and it's a hard lesson learned. I mean, that's 15 free bouquets that I'm, providing to my members, but it's not bothering me. I'm honestly taking it as a hard lesson learned. If the flowers are open just a little bit and they are exposed to temperatures at that low, it is going to have some damage. And honestly, I had no idea that was happening. So I definitely am going to be paying more attention to the temperatures. And I called Sunflower Steve. I said, Steve, what is that? Is this ethylene damage or is this cold damage? And he said, yeah, Nicole, I'm pretty sure it's cold damage. It looks like cold damage to me. Okay, that's enough of me yappity yapping. I'll make one for you guys to, just so you guys kind of see what they're gonna look like, and then I'm gonna set it up assembly line style and get these made, because I've gotta head out and deliver them shortly. Okay, so I'm really hoping that everyone's gonna get a stock today, whether or not it's a single or a double. They'll have to fight for it. First come, first serve. Okay, so I definitely wanna get some of these Queen of the Night in there for sure. You guys can see my mess back here. That's how many bouquets I made over the weekend. Terrified that they're not looking good today. Ah! Poppy down, poppy down. They do indeed. Smells so sweet. Look at that one. This anemone is gorgeous. I'm sneaking it in just because a little bit of white over here with the white stock, that makes me happy. That is the pretty, pretty pink, white, purple, red, all of the colors. I love it. I wanted to show you guys this. This is a full star red anemone. Look at the doubleness of these petals. I have a mix of anemones this year that I got from Jake, my wholesaler, one of my suppliers, and it was a mix. I didn't know what to expect, and I lucked out. I have a few of these beautiful full star variety of anemones. Let's see. A purple one, a white one, and this red one. Oh, also a pink one. So these are really, really, really beautiful, and they're a little bit short still. I mean, they're, you know, they're decent, but I mean, I put them in a jar, but for a hand-tied bouquet, I'd like them to be a little bit taller, but I think I'm gonna use them today in combination with like Uncle Tom and maybe my Tecolote Flamenco ranunculus. They're like a red and yellow, so I'm going to use them. I'm gonna try and use them today, sneak them into a shorter bouquet. They don't smell. Nine done. I have a few more to make, but this color palette is so romantic. Oh my goodness, I'm in love. I wish I had a little bit more yellow because I do also like the way this one looks. I stuck this yellow ranunculus in there just so it's loved. I wish I had a little bit more yellow because I do love that as well. But okay, 9 down, a few more to go. Oh, hello beauty. And then I've got to head out. Get these to the YMCA. All right, so I'm basically gonna focus on the Uncle Toms in this one. I knew I didn't have enough Uncle Toms to spread the love to everyone. So I'm gonna make the last couple with these full stars, whole bunch of Queen of the Nights. And I wanted to tell you guys too that I've been foraging for, it's a native flower called Golden Alexander, and it grows wild here down yonder where the pussy willow grows. Down where the willows grow, there's a Golden Alexander. No, it's not Alexander Hamilton. Tis a Golden Alexander. Oh, she belongs there. She belongs. All right. This bouquet holder will get an amazing smelling stock. It's amazing. And also, I believe this poppy has yet to open, but I think it's pink. methinks she's pink. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay. All right, so we've got stock, some Greenland, some Queen of the Nights, the Full Star, the Uncle Tom's. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple more Uncle Tom's in here. And yeah. Ooh, this is called a black ranunculus. It's black. So that's gonna be the short stem. So this bouquet is gonna be a shorty, but it kinda has to be because, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Beautiful. Where am I buzzing? I'm buzzing. Where's my phone? Aren't those the most romantic flowers you've ever seen? Anyway, I am gonna head out and make this delivery, and I wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate the time that you're spending with me as I make my weekly bouquets. And I hope that I can continue to do this as we get busier in the summer. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. I'm off to deliver. See you soon. I wanna be in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. Okay, the stock knocks my socks off.